April 7th, 2014, a game-changing day for my family. On that day, my then 3-year-old grandson Braydon was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So often I reflect on what they told us at CHOP. Now your whole family has diabetes. In November 2014, our family rallied around Braydon and participated for the first time in the JDRF Walk, a key fundraising event for JDRF, whose mission and theme was then, and remains, to make type 1 type none. Many caring friends supported our walk in 2014, a walk I now realize was almost an act of denial. If we walked and raised funds, surely Braydon might get better. This nightmare might end, and we could go back to normal. Well, here we are, walking again in November 1st, 2015. The miracle has not yet happened, and the reality of life never being the same has taken on a new meaning for all of us. During the year, Braydon's care has evolved. His insulin dosing progressed from using needle syringes and vials of long-acting basal and short-acting bolus insulins. When his bolus dosing increased to a volume that enabled use of a pen injector, dialing a dose instead of withdrawing from a vial, we rejoiced and thought life was better. It is so sad how one redefines the definition of better. Again, new lessons when Braydon was put on the insulin pump, enabling both the basal and bolus dosing to come through a single tube connected into his body. The injection site is changed about every 3 days, unless the site goes bad, and it must be changed sooner. Implanting this site still causes Braydon stress, although he is truly a brave hero considering all he endures. Control on some days seems better, and then, alarmingly and unpredictably, not on other days. With swings in blood sugar level, we blame his playing in a pool, seeing a favorite cousin, being too tired. Oh, the excuses we make for the real fact. Type 1 diabetes is not something you win control over, but just try to dodge a disaster. Braydon's parents have embraced his care with a vengeance for perfection, but guess what? Their world isn't still normal. Blood glucose levels are checked intermittently 24 hours per day. Depending on if there is a low or a high value, the frequency is increased. Sometimes a juice box is consumed at 3 a.m. Yet we find blessing. The pump has enabled Braydon to have a spontaneous snack with friends. How crazy to no longer take for granted something as simple as a child getting a spontaneous snack. Instead, we focus on how grateful we are that Braydon is alive. Preparing and taking a blood glucose check prior to starting breakfast, with Braydon then pre-dosed. After breakfast, he will be dosed again. Not a quick process, so you can hurry on with the day. But with it all, Braydon remains a wonderfully loving, respectful, and seldom complaining child. Our family is walking again, and I ask you to sponsor me. Many of my friends are being asked for a second time, and I apologize if your first donation was never intended to be an invitation for me to return. Yet I ask for your help and prayers again. This is not just about Braydon, but all the other children that share this disease with him. Please help us make type 1 type none.